Hi everybody, I'm Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Pennsylvania. And I want to share with you today a project that I made for my customers. And I know just as much as they are excited about the new holiday catalog that's coming out, I certainly am excited. As a demonstrator, I've gotten already a chance to look at it and to see the amazing products in there. But my customers can't do that until September 5th. But I have a couple of events here at the end of the month here in August, and I'm going to give them their catalogs because they've been dying to get them anyway. And with the catalog, I wanted to give them a special little customer gift. And that's what I'm going to show you today on the video is how I made this gift. And if you have any questions about it or you would like to know the dimensions and things, just go to my blog at thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com and all the dimensions will be there. So I'm glad you decided to join me, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, here are the boxes that I've been talking about. They are for my customers, and the reason I'm handing them out to them during the catalog time is that they are a little box holding some post-it note flags, a little post-it note flag holder. So I know as well as them, the first time I get my catalog, I just go through it and start marking all the things that I want for on my wish list. So I've always liked to use the flags, and I know my customers will. So each one of my customers will be getting a little box like this along with their catalog the end of this month into next month. So let me show you how I made this box. Really quite simple. It's a flip up box, so it's all in one piece and it goes together pretty quickly and it's easy to decorate. And I used here some of the new product that is in the new catalog. And let me show you that. Okay, the product I used for this is in one of the new fall suites that I really love, and it's called Country Lane, and I love the style of the Country Lane suite, and it has such wonderful farm style illustrations, and the sentiments are so adorable. The Country Lane suite comes with this Country Home stamp set, and today I'm going to use this Happy Harvest Blessing, but just look at the other great images that come with that set. And I'm going to show you some cards that I made with this at the end of the video. And also today I'm going to be using the Country Lane Designer Series paper that comes along with it. So cute. I just love all the prints on that, and you'll get to see some more of those on the box and the cards as well. And there's lots of great little embellishments that come along with it. I'm quite fond of the galvanized clips right here that you can clip onto a card to give it that farmhouse feel. So that's what we're going to be using today with our box. All right, so let's get started. Let's go ahead and move these boxes over and off. There we go. Okay, we're going to start our box today with a piece of crushed curry, and this is cut at 8 1/4 by 9 1/4. All right, before we can put our box together, of course, we've got to make our score line. So let's get up our Stampin' Scoreboard. Okay, and we're going to go on the short side first. That's the 8 1/4 side. Okay, and we're going to score at 2 1/4, 3, 5 1/4, 6. All right, those 4, and then we're going to turn to the landscape side or the longer side, and on this side we're going to score 2 1/4. Then I'm going to flip it over to the other side and do 2 1/4 again. So I'm scoring 2 1/4 from each side. All right, now that is all the scoring we have to do. All right, now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to crease all my score lines. This is a great tool if you're a box maker or you like to make a lot of 3D projects. Your bone folder is a great item to have so you can make all those creases nice and firm, because that helps your box go together easier and your corners will look nicer, and all around it'll be a nicer look for your box. All right, so there I did it. All those are scored and creased using my bone folder. Okay, let's put that aside. Now it's time to do some cutting. All right, I'm going to hold my paper in the portrait position. Okay, and you're going to look down at the bottom of your paper and you're going to notice you've got these two skinny little tabs here, along with 3 bigger squares. What I'd like you to do is cut up to the first horizontal score line on all 4 of those scores. So you're going to have both of those scores, those tabs sticking out like that. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. Okay, I'm going to cut up so that I can have my 2 little skinny tabs. Okay, there we go. Now those skinny tabs are, let me give this one a little snip. There we go. That's up to the score line. Make sure it's all the way up to the score line. Now you can fold those in. Now what you're going to do with the remaining 6 squares is you're going to cut them down. Okay, so you're going to cut them down so that you have about 1 inch left. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch left on the flap. So you're going to cut a lot of that off. You're probably thinking, what in the world are you doing, Barb? But this is really going to work. Okay, so there are those 3 tabs cut down to 1/2 inch. Turn the other way. Same thing. Okay, oops. There we go. Cut it down 1/2. Cut it down to 1/2. All right, there we go. So all those are cut down. And that's all the cutting that we're going to have to do. So now it's time to go ahead and assemble our flip box. All right, to do that, I'm going to turn it over. So this is the outside of the box showing. Okay, I'm going to get my tear and tape. All right, now this is a great product. And pardon me, we're going to want to put the tear and tape on the inside of the box. Okay, I'm sorry about that mistake. And you're going to take your tear and tape and you're going to put a piece of tear and tape on each one of those skinny flaps that we made. Okay, tear and tape is a great product to use when you're making boxes. When you're making cards, you'll use something like a snail adhesive or maybe a liquid glue. But for a box, there's nothing better than this tear and tape to hold everything together. It just works magically. And it's so nice, you can tear it right off the roll. You don't have to cut it off the roll. And it is going to stick for you. All right, so there's the 6 places you need to put. Okay, you're going to put 4 pieces on each of those flaps. And then just 2 on those front ones there. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and put the box together. We're going to work on this end first. Okay, we're going to take off all 4 of these pieces of tear and tape. So let's do that quickly as we can. All right, let's get them on this side. Now these skinny flaps are actually going to be the sides of your box. They're going to be the part that show on the outside. So everything else is going to tuck inside. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. All right, here we go. We have this small flap here. We're going to flap that inside the box so that the outside of the skinny flap is going to go right up against the fold. Okay, then we're going to take the next 1/2 inch flap that we cut and tuck that behind, and then make sure that fold goes up against the other edge of the box, and then we're going to give that a good squeeze. All right, let's do the same on the other side. Try again. Okay, first we're going to fold down the side of the box that has the tear and tape on the inside. Then we're going to take the skinny flap and put that down over top of that, making sure that we line up the fold and the edge of that tab. Then we're going to take the other tab and take that behind, line it up with the other side of the tab on the fold and squeeze it. And there we go. We have our little box already. Okay, and you can already tell by looking at this that this part is going to be our lid that flips over. So let's go ahead and take those pieces off. Okay, now what do? We're going to fold this flap in, and we're going to bring this around so that the edge of this flap will go along the fold. And then we squeeze it. Same thing over here. The edge of the flap along the fold. There we go. And there is our box. How quick was that? Okay, so there's our box. Now let's do a little bit of decorating. I'm going to take a piece of paper from the Country Lane Suite. This is just beautiful paper, and you'll notice that there is some of the crushed curry in there, along with old olive, and there's blackberry bliss, and that's what I really use to kind of show off the paper. So I took a piece of the paper, and I'm going to adhere that to a piece of blackberry bliss just to give it a little bit of framing around the outside. I'm going to take my snail to do that. That's going to go right on here. Then I'm going to turn that over. And I'm going to adhere that to the front of the box. Okay, there we go. Now, to finish off the look of the box, I like to use my 3/4 inch punch, and I'm going to put a punch in here just to give the person who receives it a little place to stick their finger. That'll make it easier to lift the lid. And I also like to put one right here so that they can go ahead and grab their little Post-it notes out. So I like to do that with my 3/4 inch punch. Okay, the last thing we're going to do now is we're going to put on our sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to use a sentiment from the stamp set. Here's the Country Home stamp set. I'm going to use Happy Harvest Blessings. Okay, so I'm going to take my Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it right here on a strip of Whisper White. There it is. Then I'm going to cut off the end, and then I'm going to cut it like a little banner. You guys know how to do that. I cut in about 1/2 inch. Then I go to each of the corners and go up and meet that, and there you can make your banner. Okay, now adhering the banner, I'm going to go ahead and use some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to take 2 of those, and I'm going to adhere those to the back of my banner. And that will go right here. Okay, final touch. I'm going to use some of the natural twine that came from Nature's Poem, the Nature's Poem suite that's in the annual catalog. It's gorgeous, and it goes perfectly with the color palette of my box. I'm going to take a small piece of that. I'm going to tie a bow. Okay. Then I'm going to maybe snip this end off a little bit. I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to stick the glue dot right on the edge here of the banner. And then I'm going to stick my little bow down. Isn't that cute? And now you can open it up, and then you can put your Post-it notes in there to give to your customer, or you can put anything in there. I think chocolates would fit in there, maybe a little piece of jewelry, anything. I just love the idea of a flip box. It's just really cute. So that is my project for today. Now, before I go, I wanted to show you some of the cards that I made with this Country Home Okay. Here's one I made. This one used the Simply Thankful for All Things. And then I used the corrugated embossing folder to make this piece here. And then here, if you look real close, you can see those cool clips. Okay, I used a clip there and a little bit of the twine to finish that off. And I love this the cotton paper. I think that's so pretty. So that was one card I made. And then I used the wood paper. They had a piece of paper from the suite that had like a wood texture. I used that and then just stamped the picture with some of the flowers and used my Stampin' Blends to color those. So that's another I made. And then here I used the new tile embossing folder, and I also used the galvanized metallic paper, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see the sparkle there, but it looks just like metal, and I love that. And here again, I use the blends to color in my picture and my flowers. I love this set. I am really, really digging it, and I love the fall effect. Now here I used the little milk jug, and I colored that using the I'm trying to think of the name of them. Soft slate. Okay, and then I put a little bit of Wink of Stella on it. I don't know if you can see that that's a little shiny there. Okay, and then again, I used the corrugated embossing folder for that. Has a nice country look, and I really, really love that. And there's a couple of different little things you can put on for the little label there. So you need to check out that stamp set. It's very cool. So that's just a few of the cards that I made. All this information is on my blog, and if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to call me. Oh, I do have one other to show you. This is one I made using the little tile single stamp, and I used Blueberry Bushel, and I just free-handed it and stamped and made a tile, almost like a tile backsplash. This reminds me a little of my kitchen. This might be my favorite card. And then I fussy cut out the picture and the flowers, and then put a little piece of the galvanized metal metallic paper behind that sentiment. So this is another one that I really like. So I've been having a lot of fun with this set, and I'm looking forward to getting my stampers over to my home so that we can make some cards with it as well. So please let me know if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to contact me or send me a message. And thanks again for watching the video, and I'll talk to you again real soon.